All right, horror hounds, and welcome to an episode of This Just In. Today we're going over Halloween 2018, the reboot sequel, also known as the requel. So in this one, we're going to mess with that continuity timeline again, and this one is taking place directly after Halloween 1 from 1978. But it is present day, so this is 40 years later. We're going to catch up with the old crew and see how they're doing. All right, this one follows Michael. And who's he going after? Laurie, his sister. That wasn't revealed in the first one. And they even make a little comical joke at it in this one where they say, "Isn't that his sister?" And they shoot that shit down right there. Like, nope, that's not part of this crap. All right, starting with the ends. First one, the main man of the course, Michael Myers. Michael Myers, this movie, is portrayed as a badass guy. It was great to see him on the big screen. This was a movie that I saw in theaters, and that was my first watching of it, and I've rewatched it since then. So my experience with this one was pretty good because it was the first Halloween movie I saw in theaters that was decent. Unfortunately for me, the last movie I saw in theaters was Resurrection. Yeah, the bottom of the barrel. Wonder why I didn't go check out Halloween when Rob Zombie made it in theaters. Was a little nervous. All right, so Michael Myers is great in this movie, and so are Laurie Strode, since they brought her back in with Jamie Lee Curtis. She plays that character well. She's weathered the storm, just like she did in H2O, but this time she's a little bit more badass. Her whole house is like a fortress you can't get into, you can't get out of if you wanted to. She's got dummies up, shooting range, she's blown their heads off and everything else. She is 100% survival woman in this. And since the storylines have changed completely, she has a daughter in this one, and her daughter has a daughter. And in this one, her daughter hates her in the beginning because Laurie put her through hell. Because Laurie wanted to make sure she was ready just in case Michael Myers ever came back. Even though it's been 40 years and it hasn't happened yet. But, hey, you never know. Another in for me on this one is the cinematography in this movie is fantastic. They do shoot it very well. I like the lighting. I like the way the scenes are shot. The score in this one is John Carpenter coming back with his son, Cody Carpenter, and they do a fantastic job of changing up the original score just a little bit, but enhancing it, and I think this one might be better than the original. I know, hard to believe, because you heard the original your whole life, but I don't know. It's a pretty good one. I like all of the on-screen kills. That's your key word there. I didn't want to put kills in just one category because on-screen kills in this movie are awesome. I mean, we get a kid who gets stabbed and then he gets like a fence post shot up through. We get a guy whose head gets completely stomped off. We get a guy whose head is smashed repeatedly into a bathroom stall door. You get some really awesome on-screen kills in this movie. And my last in on this movie is the ending. I thought the ending of this was really good. The way that they used the house as a booby trap to get Michael trapped down in the basement and to set it on fire and blow the whole house up pretty much. They're going to burn that bitch down. And he's trapped inside. But is he? Because in some of the last shots, we don't see Michael anymore. Wonder if there's a sequel. Yeah, we know there's a sequel now, huh? But that is everything on my ins. The things that I'm mixed on in this movie is the cast. First is Laurie Strode's daughter. She's played by Judy Greer. And I feel like she gives a completely lifeless, emotionless portrayal. Like, the best part she does is when she screams that she can't kill him when she's in the house. And then when he walks in front of the door, she says, "Gotcha," and shoots him. That's like the most emotion that she gives in this role. That's like believable. Like her hitting her mom and the way she talks to her daughter, and then when she has like a flashback, like PTSD scene. If you watch that scene, it sounds like somebody who's reading lines off of a teleprompter. Her acting was not very good in this part. And her husband, by the way, he sucks too. he actually belongs in Rob Zombie's movie because he tells a joke about getting peanut butter on his penis in front of his wife and his daughter. Yep, peanut butter on a penis. Great line you got there. And then I got Dr. Sertain, who is the new Loomis in this movie because Loomis is dead at this point, and he took over. He studied underneath Loomis, and then he took over. And his character is just there to push a story along. He is the reason why Michael escapes twice. He's the reason why Michael shows up at the Strode house. He literally, his only purpose is to make way for Michael to be able to do more mayhem. And that's his only purpose in this movie. Other than that, he is useless. And I don't think that it's acted entirely well. He's not terrible, but the character itself is written terribly. And then you get some of the side characters that are just kind of meh. But Michael and Laurie, they do a great job in this movie. And then was it cop there, Sheriff Brackett? He does a pretty good job in this movie. I like the guy who's portraying him in this movie quite a bit. And then we have his death scene. We'll have to wait and see if he really died because they didn't show a confirmed kill. And in a horror movie, we never know. We never know. All right. The other thing that I mixed on in this movie is the plot. The plot is very bland. It's kind of good for like the first half of the movie, and then it kind of just goes along the normal beats of any other Halloween movie. And they do a lot of homage to a lot of other Halloween movies that are not canon with this movie. So I thought that was a weird choice. Like, why are you showing us stuff that you erased technically by not wanting those movies part of this canon or this line of filmography? That I thought was a poor choice. And then, like I said, there's a lot of convenient loophole like things like that get put in there just so that we can push this along and Michael can find his way to Laurie. All right, so the things that I'm out on. There's two things. One is the humor. Yep, I wasn't a big fan of peanut butter on the penis or any of the other jokes in this movie. This movie's humor doesn't land well. There are a few funny spots in it, but other than that, it's kind of a lot of, yeah, nice writing. Great joke. I had a cricket sound effect. I'd play it right now. And then my other out on this movie is holy fuck off-screen kills. As you've seen from all my other videos, I hate off-screen kills. And I don't care if it's an off-screen kill, and then when we finally see the person, you made it look cool and great, and you put all your money into that effect to make it look good as a sitting still corpse, or as a mannequin, or whatever else you want to call it. When you have as many off-screen kills as you do in this movie, I believe this movie takes the cake. I think 5 had 4 in it. I'm pretty damn sure there's more than 4 in this one. And to me, you're reintroducing the character. You've got a budget behind you, Blumhouse. I know they like to be cheap. And they weren't sure how the movie was going to come out and do at the box office, but Blumhouse has made a lot of money off from some other franchises to where they could have put in a little more effort on this one in that sense. All right, my overall thoughts on this movie. This is a pretty decent Halloween movie. Compared to some of the other sequels, this one is darn good because there are a lot of stinkers in the franchise. And this was a nice rebirth for the slasher franchise, which was kind of taking a dip again. And this one kind of was so successful that it brought on new life for slashers again, to where we could revisit some old things. And it also created that giant requel craze that we're kind of in right now. So thank you for that. It is fun to see canon characters played by the same person come back and play their role. My score on this movie, I'm going to give it a 3.5. That's 3.5. It's a solid movie. It's better than the Rob Zombie movies, but it's not as good as some of the highs in this franchise. All right, if I can have you give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, Leave a comment down below and tell me what you thought of Halloween 2018. And until we see the next one, which will be Halloween Kills. Excited to see what I have on my thoughts on that one. That one I was really excited for before watching it. Until the next one, guys, rest in peace.